Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to your Vinyasa Flow practice. We're going to start our practice today in Shavasana. So when you're ready, please lay back and find a comfortable position on your mat. So taking the legs long and letting the feet fall out to the sides, tucking your shoulder blades underneath the chest. Arms out, a comfortable position to your sides, palms facing up. And then just relaxing the head and neck. Maybe just take a little roll of the head side to side and let the head feel heavy. Now you're comfortable. Focus your mind now on your breath. Big deep inhales through the nose, filling the belly, and long exhales through the nose. With those exhales, feel the weight of the body rooting into the earth. Feeling that space the air is making in your body grow. As your inhales are now filling the whole of the body from the lower belly all the way to the clavicle. Making space. As you keep these breaths nice and deep, nice and controlled, think of something that you are grateful for. Picture that gratitude. And now make your picture 3D. Think about how that gratitude makes you feel. Is it associated with any sense of smell? Any temperature? Hold of that gratitude. We'll keep it with us for our practice today. Sitting back on the breath, keeping those breaths nice and deep, filling the body with air. And reaching down on the exhale. I'm going to bring some movement into the body now, so moving the fingers. Moving the toes, rocking the head side to side. And when you're ready, we're going to take the arms up and over the head and take a big inhale as we have a nice big good morning stretch. Stay here for one more breath. Bringing the feet onto the mat and then bringing these into the chest. We're going to give ourselves a nice big hug. And rocking the hips side to side, a little massage into the lower back. Option to keep the eyes closed or to flutter them open, whatever is serving you best today. And then taking the feet back down to the mat. We're going to walk the feet out so they are mat width apart. And then just rock the knees from side to side. Just making that rock a little bit deeper, taking the knees a little bit further to the side. And next time you take the knees to the right, we're going to let the legs just rest there, bringing the arms up to a cactus position, and just letting the legs sink down heavy to the earth. Focusing on keeping that left shoulder down, still connected to the earth. Nice deep breaths here. Engaging the abdominals, maybe using the hands to help bring the knees back to center, and then rocking the legs side to side again. And then over to the left, letting the legs stay here, relaxing them down, arms back to cactus, as we just settle in on the stretch on the other side. The right shoulder staying connected with the earth. Nice deep breaths here. One more breath. And again, engaging the abdominals, maybe using the hands to help bring the legs back through center, walking the feet back into the middle now, and then bringing the knees back into the chest for another hug. Rocking side to side. Taking a little gap between the knees now as we just circle into the hips. Inhale as the knees work away. Exhale as the knees come back into the body. And taking the other way around. Bringing the knees back in. Now taking the hands underneath here, rocking them now. And in your own time coming up to a seated position. We're going to come over now onto the other side into tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, taking a little rock forward and back. Inhale, coming forward, exhale, coming back. Just gentle on the wrists, not putting too much pressure on the wrists, not too far forward. But pushing through the whole hand, so using the knuckles, the whole of the fingers. And just developing that as you warm up. Maybe adding a little bit of organic movement, maybe a little bit of rotation there. Maybe going back the other way, whatever your body's needing today. Then back to your tabletop. And we're going to take some cows. Taking a nice big inhale as we open the front body, lengthening, lifting the chin. And exhale as we open the back body. few rounds in your own time. And bringing that back to center. Taking a little rock again. And on the exhale, coming all the way back into our child's pose. Bringing the big toes together and letting the arms lengthen in front of you. Option to bring the hands together into prayer position and taking the hands behind the bottom of the skull, maybe walking the elbows forward a little and relaxing here. One more breath. And releasing the arms in front, just coming up a little. We are going to take the arms off to the right side of the mat with the left hand on top of the right. And then easing that down from here, feeling that nice stretch in the left side body. Try and make sure the hips are still evenly placed, so your pelvis is still square. And coming back through center. And off to the left side of the mat with the right hand on top of the left this time, easing that down. And feel each breath, each inhale making space in the right side body. And just lifting up, walking the hands back through center. Coming back to our tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes and come all the way back into our downward facing dog. And we're going to take some time here now just to settle in, as this is our first downward facing dog of our practice today. So pedal through the legs, pushing through the whole of the hands, turning the inner elbows to the top of your mat, making space around the neck, so shoulders back and down, width in the upper back, lifting the tailbone to the sky, pulling the lower abdominals in and up. Now bringing those legs to a position of stillness. We're going to take a moment here, nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, pulling those abdominals in. Now we're going to take an inhale as we come up onto our toes and exhale as we come back down. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, one last time. And coming up onto the toes, we are going to tiptoe to the top of the mat to meet the hands. And take a generous bend into the knees as we fold. So relaxing the torso onto the thighs, letting the weight of the head help the decompression of the spine. Deep breaths here. Slowly curl up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders and head coming up last. And take a big inhale. And exhale as we fold. We're going to take a halfway lift. Flattening the back, lengthening the spine, and exhale as we fold. Coming all the way up, inhale. And while we're here, we're going to take the left hand, holding on to the right wrist, and take a lean to the left side, opening up the right side body. Breathe into that space. Turning the chest to the sky. Going back through center. Right hand taking hold of the left wrist. Inhale up and exhale as we lean over to the right, making space in the left side body. Again, turning the chest to the sky. Rooting down through the feet. Try and keep the weight in both feet nice and even. And inhale back through center. And exhale, fold. Again, just letting the head relax, letting the weight make space in the spine. We're going to take hold of the opposite elbows now for our ragdoll pose. Take a moment here, maybe take a little bit more width between the feet. Maybe a little nod of the head, just to help relax the weight down. Maybe a little shake of the head. Maybe a little rock of the arms forward and back. Just let go and allow that space to be created. Lengthening in the spine. Keeping the breath nice and deep. One more breath. Releasing the arms and slowly curling up one vertebrae at a time. Taking that deep breath in. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Now placing the right hand down on the floor, we're going to take the left arm high and take a bend into the right knee as we enjoy that twist. Taking the gaze down, left arm comes down to the mat, swapping the bend into the left leg as we take the right arm up. Opening up the chest, lifting through the shoulders. Gaze down, arm down, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant the hands down and step back right and left. Lower the knees, untuck the toes, and gently lower down onto the belly. Here we're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen for baby cobra. Take a moment here. And exhale as you come down. Now taking the hands as wide, or just on the outsides of the mat, cupping the fingers, taking the elbows nice and high to the sky. We're going to inhale as we lift up. And on the exhale, we're going to take the right shoulder and ear to the mat. Going back through center, big inhale. And exhale. back through center. Exhale down, bringing the hands back to the chest now, tucking the toes as we push back, all the way back to our downward facing dog. Pedal through the knees. And bring that to a position of stillness. On our next big inhale, we're going to take the right leg high. Bending into that knee, and then opening up the hips to the right side. Maybe take a little bit of movement there, a little circling with the knee, maybe the other way around. An option to take that leg all the way behind and flip over into your wild thing. Lifting the hips high, keeping the breath nice and deep. And bring the gaze down and hand down, taking the leg back high. And bringing the knee to the elbow. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to opposite side. And then taking that leg straight out in front, we're going to come up to our fallen triangle. Holding it here. Again, keeping the hips high, lifting through the shoulder. Gaze down, left hand down, right leg comes back through. Placing the leg down now, back to our downward facing dog. Taking the moment here, and option to take a vinyasa. So bringing the weight forward, maybe taking the knees down, gently lowering to the mat, coming up into cobra, back down to the mat, tucking the toes, pushing back, and all the way back to your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. On your next big inhale, we're going to take the left leg high, bending into the knee, opening the hips up on the left. Maybe again taking that little circle with the knees, other way around. And option again to take that leg all the way around behind you and flip over for wild thing. Lifting the hips high, pushing through the whole hand, nice and long in the body, keeping the breath nice and deep. One more breath here. And taking the gaze down, leg high, and back through. Knee to elbow, knee to nose, knee to opposite elbow, taking the leg all the way through and coming into your fallen triangle. Again, lifting the hips, lifting through the shoulders, gazing up, placing the hand back to the mat, taking the leg all the way back through and back to the mat for your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. And when you're ready, taking Vinyasa, should you wish to do so. If you don't wish to take a Vinyasa, you can just hang out in tabletop or downward facing dog. Maybe child's pose, whatever is serving you today. Back to our downward facing dog, meeting here. On your next inhale, we're going to take the right leg high and step the leg all the way through to between the hands, taking the left knee down, untucking the toes if you prefer them untucked, and we're going to come up into our low lunge, placing the palms together, taking the palms down behind the back of the skull, and taking a little back bend. Keeping the breath nice and deep. Bring the arms back up, placing the hands back down to the mat as we pull back, pushing the heel forward for our half splits. So keeping the weight nice and even. If you have blocks, you may wish to use those now, just to bring the earth a little closer to you. Make sure your pelvis is nice and square to the top of the mat, so bringing back the hip crease on the right side. Holding it there, nice deep breaths. And we're going to bring that foot back in, bending into the knee. We're going to take the back leg across the mat at an angle so the toes are off the side of the mat now on the right. We're going to take a big breath in as we come up. Bring the arms around behind on an exhale, clasp the hands together. Inhale as we lift, take a little back bend, and then exhale as we take a modified humble warrior. The back foot across the mat there just to help us stabilize. Breathing here. Now taking the arms onto the body, and we are going to sweep the arms forward and come all the way around now to a supported side plank. I've taken that back leg on the left all the way straight across the mat now. My right leg is long, and I'm lengthening now arm by the ear. An option to lift that leg now. Keep turning the chest to the sky. Using that back foot to help stabilize. An option to bend into that top knee. Take the arm all the way around, grab hold of the top of the foot, pushing now into the hand for a back bend. A modified sugar cane cup pose. Holding it here, pushing the pelvis forward, pushing the foot into the hands, and then releasing the pressure into the hand, and gently bringing the arm back and the foot back to where it was. We are going to come all the way up, windmilling over to the other side for a side stretch. And then all the way back. And then bending into the right knee, we're going to come around to the front of the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, place the left hand down, and take a nice easy twist here. Try and keep the pelvis nice and square. Now we're going to bring the hand down, but inside the foot, and walk the foot to the edge of the mat. As we now bring the back knee back down, untuck the toes to take a moment in our lizard pose. Now you may wish to use your blocks here again. Maybe bring the earth a little bit closer to you, or you may wish to be down on your elbows, just to whatever is right for you today. And then just lifting back up onto the fingertips. We're going to bend into the back knee. Take the left arm all the way back around to find the toes. And then take the gaze over the left shoulder. Enjoying that quad stretch. Now gently easing that back down. Placing the hands back down. Tucking the toes, lifting the back knee. We're going to take a big inhale as we take that right leg all the way back and up. And place it back down onto the mat into our downward facing dog. Option to take a vinyasa. You may wish to take a full vinyasa now. So coming forward into your plank. Lowering down for chaturanga. Up to your upward facing dog. Coming back to your downward facing dog. Just taking a moment here now. Breath. Lifting that tailbone, pulling the lower abdominals in. And on your next inhale, we're going to take the left leg high and step all the way through. And knee down into our low lunge. Again, option to untuck the toes. Coming up, palms together, taking the hands down behind the lower back and leaning back for a little back bend. And release, bringing the arms back down to frame the foot. We're going to pull back, push the heel forward for our half splits. Again, you may wish to use your box. Just making sure that the toes and the knee are pointing to the sky so that the foot isn't rolling out to the side. Keep the pelvis nice and square. And if you have a tendency to hyperextend, just pop a little micro bend in that front leg, in the knee joint, just to protect it. So lengthening and lowering here. Sending the breath to that sensation you're feeling down the back of the leg. Now we're going to bring that back towards us, bending into the knee. As we bring the right leg across on diagonal with the foot and toes now coming off the edge of the mat. We're going to take a big inhale as we come up. Exhale, taking the arms around behind us, lace the fingers, but this time the other way around so the other thumb is on top. Take a big inhale for our back bend. And exhale as we come forward into our modified humble warrior. Lifting through the shoulders. Just be mindful not to hyperextend the shoulder joints. And lowering the arms onto the body. Taking a big inhale as we come up. And all the way around to our supported side plank on the other side. Straightening that right leg now so it's all the way across the mat. Nice and long in the left leg. And arm along by the ear. Nice long line of energy, fingertips to side edge of that left foot. Turning the chest to the sky. Option to lift that left leg off the floor. An option to bend into that knee, take the hand round behind and grab hold of the toes, pushing the pelvis forward and pushing the foot into the hand for our modified sugarcane pose. Now gently releasing that, taking the foot back down, arm back over, and then inhale as we come up. Exhale as we stretch on the other side, feeling that stretch in the right side body. Going back. And now taking a bend into the left knee as we come round. Lifting the knee, placing the right hand on the mat and the left arm high for our easy twist. We're bringing the hand down inside the foot. So we're going to walk the foot over to the edge of the mat now, placing both hands down, back knee down, untuck the toes, and settle in now to your lizard pose. Again, maybe using your blocks, maybe not, whatever is right for you today. Here, and then lifting up our body up, Take a bend into that back knee, bringing the toes up, windmill the right arm around to find the toes, and bringing those toes into the body now for that quad stretch, gazing over the right shoulder. Now gently releasing the foot back down, tucking the toes, lifting the back knee, placing the hands down, big inhale as we take the left leg all the way back and up. And placing it back down for our downward facing dog. Vinyasa of your choice if you choose to take one in your own time. Taking another breath here. And next inhale, taking your right leg high and stepping it all the way through. Placing the back foot down at 45 degrees. And coming up into your warrior two. Nice long line from fingertips to fingertips, making sure that front knee is in line with the toes. Back foot at 45 degrees. Pushing into the outer edge of the back foot, shoulders back and down, space around the neck, gazing over that middle finger. We're going to flip the hand and reverse our warrior. And exhale, coming into our extended side angle, elbow to thigh, sweep the arm long by the ears. Option to bring that lower if you choose. You may use your block for that. Maybe bringing the hand to the outside of the front foot. It's getting nice length in your pose here. Option, of course, to take the bind should you wish to, taking that top arm round behind. If you wish to take the full bind, taking the right arm underneath and linking the hands together and turning the chest to the sky. And releasing the hands. Take a big inhale as we come back to our warrior two. And reverse our warrior. This time straightening the front leg, tipping forward and coming into our triangle pose. Again, you may wish to use your block on the outside of the front foot, but lifting and lengthening in the torso, trying not to crunch up on that bottom side. You want to lengthen on both sides. Gaze up. If you're using a block, you can keep it with you, but we're going to take a bend into the front knee now, taking the hand further forward. With the block or without, we are going to come into half moon. Holding here. Now option to bend into both knees, bring the knees down together and take the left hand, left foot together, taking that now around behind you and opening up, pressure into that hand now for that back bend for your full sugarcane pose. Now bending into both knees. Bringing them in together, coming up into chair pose, inhale. And fold. Letting the weight hang down. Halfway lift. And fold. Lift and rise. Hands to heart center. Take a moment here. Big inhale. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Placing the hands down, stepping back left and right. Option to take your vinyasa. And on your next inhale, taking your left leg high and stepping the leg all the way through, placing the back foot down at 45 degrees and windmilling the arms up for your warrior two. Bending into that front knee, so knee is stacking over ankle. Long line from fingertips to fingertips. I'm going to turn it down so you can see me. We're going to flip the hand and reverse our warrior. And exhale as we come into our extended side angle, sweeping the arm by the ear. Again, option to use the block beside the foot, or bring the hand all the way down to the floor, but again, lengthening in the torso, trying not to crunch too much on the bottom side. Again, option to take a bind, top arm around the back, holding onto the thigh if you want to take a half bind. If you want to take a full bind, you can take the left arm underneath the thigh, grasping the hands together behind you and opening the chest and sky. One more breath. Releasing the hands. You've taken a bind. We're going to come all the way back to our warrior two. Flip the hand, reverse our warrior, this time taking the leg straight. Tipping forward into our triangle pose. Again, you may use a block here if that is working better for you. Turning the chest skyward, gaze up, and just being mindful of that front knee joint. Keep a little micro bend in it. And when I say a micro bend, I mean just such a tiny bend that no one else would know it's there except for you. Now taking a bend into the front knee, we're going to place the hand in front of the foot to the left as we come up to our half moon. Now option to bend into both knees, right foot into right hand as you come up now. Opening back up, pushing the pelvis forward, pushing the foot into the hand. Before you a sugar cane pose. Balance is tricky here, so be kind to yourself. If you fall out of the pose, come straight back to it. And then bending into both knees and coming into our chair pose. Staying where you are, I'm just going to join you back at the top of the mat. And fold. Taking a halfway lift. And fold. Coming all the way up. Hands to heart center. And just take a moment here. Maybe take a moment to remind yourself of your gratitude today. Then taking a big inhale and exhale, fold. Stepping back right and left. Last vinyasa. Coming up onto the toes, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then gently taking the knees down. Bringing the toes together. And then either keeping the knees as they are or maybe taking them wide on the mat. Coming back into our child's pose. Just taking a moment here. Maybe rocking your forehead on the mat. Massage your chakra, third eye. Bring the head up, walking the hands back towards the knees. We'll bring the knees in and then come over and gently ease our way back onto the mat. Taking your time. And then bringing the knees in for a nice big hug. Again, maybe a little rock side to side. Now placing the feet onto the mat. Taking the right leg straight and easing it in. Take a bend into that knee, take the ankle onto the opposite thigh and pull in, relaxing that top leg. A little bit further if you can, increasing the stretch on your exhale. Easing that back leg down. Now we're going to take that right leg all the way over so the legs are now crossed. And pushing through the left heel, we're going to lift the hips, shift them a couple of inches to the right, and then let the knees drop to the left side as we take the arms out to a T. Keeping the right shoulder on the floor and taking the gaze over the right shoulder. Now, engage the abdominals, bringing the knees back through center, pushing through the left heel to adjust the hips back to the middle. You're going to arm cross the legs. And take the left leg straight and ease it in. Taking a bend into the knee, taking the ankle onto the opposite thigh. And bringing the furthest leg in. And gently easing that back leg down. And now taking the left leg all the way across so that the is crossed over the right thigh now. Pushing through the right heel, you're going to lift up and shift the hips a couple of inches to the left. And now arms out to a T, taking the legs to the right side this time. Keeping that left shoulder on the floor. And taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Engaging the abdominals, bringing the knees back through center, pushing through the right heel to adjust the hips back to the middle of the mat, uncrossing the legs, bringing the knees in for one last hug. And deep breath in. And exhale, Shavasana. Taking the legs out in front of you, back to how we started our practice today. Feet falling comfortably to the sides. Shoulder blades underneath the chest. Arms relaxed, palms up. Relaxing the neck and head. Space around the neck. Drawing your attention back to your gratitude today. We're going to take 3 more big deep breaths together. Opening the mouth on the exhale to sigh. Sending any worries, any tension, any stress away from the body. Now taking the control out of your breath, letting go completely, and allowing yourself a few minutes here to fully relax. I will then talk you out of your Shavasana shortly. Bring some movement back into the body now. Maybe rubbing your thumb against your fingertips. Clenching and unclenching your fists. Wiggling your toes, maybe rocking your head side to side. And bringing your knees into the chest one at a time, and giving yourself one last big hug, as you would hug someone you love dearly. When you're ready, let the knees gently go to one side or the other, whichever side is serving you best today. And taking your lower arm underneath the head as a pillow as you take a moment in the fetal position. In your own time, when you feel ready, just gently push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Just take a moment now to remind yourself of your gratitude today. Let it fill you with happiness. And bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you for taking this time for yourself today and for joining me in this practice. Namaste.